welcome to this explainer where we're diving into a true story that honestly feels like a Hollywood movie, but it actually happened right here in the real world. We're going to look at an everyday construction worker whose life was completely, and I mean unbelievably, transformed by a spectacular stroke of luck. It's an amazing story about hidden treasure, trusting your gut, and what happens when an ordinary day suddenly collides with the extraordinary.
12 inches, just 1 foot of dirt. Now, for John Miller, who was a 42-year-old construction worker making $25 an hour back in March 2024, that exact depth was all that separated a back-breaking workday from an unimaginable fortune. I mean, we walk over the earth every single day without a second thought, right? But for John, literally just a ruler's length down, his entire destiny was waiting for him. It's a pretty wild leap to think about, the distance between a completely ordinary day and $10 million. Picture this. John's just operating his excavator on a routine expansion project on Interstate 30 down in Arkansas. His job was super straightforward. Dig, move dirt, pave the road. But then, out of nowhere, his machine hit something surprisingly hard. And it wasn't just normal rock either. It was shiny, buried deep in that Arkansas dirt, and it made him stop his machine entirely.
Section 1. The Accidental Diamond Discovery. Let's see how this totally mundane highway project turned into the ultimate rags-to-riches moment.
So John picks up a few of these little stones. Actually, at first, he thought they were just pieces of broken glass. But when he washed the dirt off, they had this absolutely unmistakable sparkle. He calls his boss over, but his supervisor just brushes it off, saying, "Probably just quartz, keep working." Now, the easiest thing in the world would have been to toss the rocks and get back to making his $25 an hour, but John trusted his gut. He didn't keep working. He bagged those stones up and drove straight to the nearest geology lab. Moving into Section 2, a $10 million secret. Because what that lab found wasn't just some neat rock. It was a staggering revelation.
Just consider the difference here for a second. On one hand, you have broken glass or quartz, which is worth practically nothing. On the other hand, you have the lab's confirmed reality, over 400 carats of raw kimberlite diamonds. The geologists explained that the kimberlite meant he hadn't just found a few stray gems. He had essentially tapped directly into an ancient volcanic pipe. He'd uncovered a raw diamond deposit with a market value of over $10 million. In the literal blink of an eye, a guy just trying to pave a highway became the discoverer of a massive geological fortune.
Section 3, the battle for the treasure. Because, of course, just as our everyday hero strikes it rich, a massive legal roadblock pops up. So why couldn't John just stuff the diamonds in his pockets and walk away a millionaire? Well, it all boils down to mineral rights law. In America, just because you're standing on the surface of the land, or even digging it up, it doesn't automatically mean you own the valuable minerals buried underneath it. Under Arkansas state law, the state actually owns all minerals beneath its public highways. John found it with his own hands and his machine, sure, but he didn't own the dirt. You could imagine the chaos this caused. It sparked a fierce 6-month legal standoff in the Arkansas District Court, with 3 different parties fighting tooth and nail over the $10 million. You had the state of Arkansas arguing, hey, public land means public treasure. Then the construction company jumps in, saying John was on company time with company equipment, so the reward was theirs. And finally, John Miller's legal team made a really compelling point. Without John's sharp eye and intuition to stop the machine, those diamonds would literally still be buried under layers of fresh asphalt.
Well, the judge finally makes a stunning call. He completely throws out the construction company's claim. 0% for them. Instead, he splits the treasure right down the middle. 50% goes to the state of Arkansas as the landowner, slated for highway maintenance, and the other 50%, a life-changing $5.1 million, went straight to John Miller for the discovery. He actually won.
Section 4. A life changed forever. Now let's look at the true inspirational heart of this incredible story. Going from an hourly wage to overnight multi-million-dollar wealth, that kind of shock ruins some people. But John's reaction is what makes this such a phenomenal story. He summed it up perfectly. He said, I paid off my house, I helped my kids with college, and I donated to the local school. No fleet of yachts, no mega mansion. He humbly secured his family's future and generously gave back to his community. It's just a brilliant example of a truly great thing happening to a good, hardworking person.
Section 5, America's Hidden Underground Wealth. Now you might be wondering, could a life-changing stroke of luck like this actually happen to you?
Well, the geological data suggests it absolutely could. Arkansas is actually world famous for this exact phenomenon. It's home to the Crater of Diamonds State Park down in Murfreesboro. It's the only site in the whole world where regular families and tourists can pay a tiny fee, play in the dirt, and legally keep whatever diamonds they find, no questions asked. And people are really successful there. Over 600 diamonds are found by everyday visitors at that park every single year.
So the really crucial takeaway here is that John's discovery wasn't just some crazy fluke. It's a feature of the geography. Because the U.S., especially Arkansas, sits on these rare volcanic kimberlite zones, geologists have this staggering hypothesis. They believe that less than 30% of America's underground diamonds have actually been discovered so far.
Think about what that means. Well over 70% of this geological treasure is still sitting right under our feet, untouched, just waiting. Millions of dollars in raw diamonds are still buried under totally everyday locations. We're talking under farms, under office buildings, and yes, beneath the very highways and roads you drive your car on every single day. John Miller proves that real treasure isn't just in pirate stories. It's literally right beneath us. So, I'm going to leave you with this final thought to chew on today. Put yourself right there in the cab of that excavator. If you were John Miller and you just pulled $10 million worth of raw diamonds out of the dirt on a public road, what would you do? Would you trust the system and faithfully report your lucky discovery to the government, just like John did? Or would you silently pack those stones away and try to keep it all for yourself? It's a huge question for an unbelievable situation. Think about it, and hey, keep your eyes on the ground.